Yeah, go pee. Anybody coming in? Let's just... I wonder if they can hear me right now. You guys can hear me. Type something. Sam, is there an error? Oh, I thought you said there was a problem.
Oh my god!
Enough problems. And 99 problems. And that's okay. Who says I can hear you? I can barely hear you. We can hear you. It's quiet though. Oh, okay. Like, I can't hear what you're saying, just your voice. Yeah, I'm just repeating what Chad is saying. Low, and low. Wants to drop LSD and lift weights. Hello, Christian Laval. Hi, welcome back, Magnus. Fat Blunt Bear. Fat Blunt Bear. Fat Blunt. No, I'm just reading this username over and over again. Yeah, Joe, you better not curl anything, bro. Curl anything. Yeah. Yeah, thanks guys for waiting. We've been setting up the stream. It's quite a lot of work, but we're just gonna plow on ahead. Cool. What'd you say? Yeah, don't curl. You talk to him over there in your own mic, bro.
Guess we gotta turn off the bicep curl and rep.
Yeah, go for it, David. Working? Yeah. Sam's here. She's gonna be in chat. There we go. There we go. There it goes, guys.
All right.
I don't know if the lava lamp is the 80s. Is the lava lamp 70s?
70s? That far back?
I think so.
I thought it was like a late 80s.
No, lava lamp's definitely from the 70s. They used to hide like
I thought it was like a late 80s.
ganja brownies down in here. You know, like, and then people started hiding more hardcore stuff down here. Yeah, no, lava lamps are great places to hide stuff. The only problem is the lava lamp has this. I think underneath they'd remove this portion of the lava lamp, and they'd put things in there. The only problem is there's a hot light bulb.
Yeah.
The light bulb is so hot that it actually melts wax. So I don't know why you'd want to put your drugs in there for safekeeping if they're going to get heated up. I don't have to melt wax and water.
Would backfire.
It would, but
waste of money.
There's better places to heat it up, guys. Thank you guys for coming in. Welcome to the live stream. David is over here modding. Very happy David's here. He's going to help us out. Also, he's going to keep track of any audio issues or anything like that. So just let him know in chat. Don't audio troll him. They can't? Oh, he's better. Yeah. Go approve. We got a shirt that just says "Let's eat trash."
What's the next part?
And get hit by a car.
That's how you party hard.
Antoine got this shirt, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get to it. I'm not a guy that just buys shirts like that that have sayings on them, but I just impulse buy it. It's the first impulse buy shirt I've done in like 7 years. I'm not a guy that just buys.
I rarely ever. I feel like I just.
impulse buy it. It's the first impulse buy shirt I've done in like 7 years.
Proof's in the pudding.
Exactly. Yeah. You get when you work with brands, guys, or even if you don't work with brands. I've been at expos before, and these companies will ambush you. And I don't know. I think it's like guerrilla drive by. Like they'll just like, "Hey, Juji," and they'll like throw a shirt at me, and I'll be like, "Of course you're gonna catch something that's thrown at you." And you catch it, it's like, now I got a shirt I got to throw in the trash can.
Hey,
Can we get down over there? There we go. There we go.
got a super chat from Eric.
All right.
He said,
Barrett.
Juji, you've motivated me to get back in shape and be healthier both mentally and physically. Thank you for that and everything you do. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. That's very nice of you. If you got any questions during the stream, let us know. We're gonna have a chat here, but if anyone wants to jump in and I guess do a super chat, we're not gonna ignore you.
Well, yeah,
No.
you guys don't have chat in front of you.
I don't have chat in front of me, so I'm relying on Sam over here and
We've got a couple people have asked about Joey's bicep. Want a little update, and also on the soul searching.
Yeah. So the bicep is healing. Hopefully it's. I think there was 2 tears. So the first one I'm pretty sure is healed or around 90%. Second one wasn't anywhere near as bad. I decided not to get surgery. And when it comes to soul searching, I've just been finding the fire. I've been having a lot of fun, and we've been talking a lot about that with just hanging out. Like, man, I just have been putting a lot more things in my life that just make me smile, make me laugh, that I enjoy, taking the pressure off myself with the videos.
Sam.
Wow. Look at these handsome gentlemen.
Damn. I enjoy Sam, so I need more Sam in my life.
Hey Sam, look, this is like our version of table talk, bro. it's like 1/4 the tech, but we do have a green screen behind us.
And a lava lamp.
Lava lamp.
We got some of our old friends
Skull.
coming back, Mr. Russell Begley and
Oh,
Joseph
yeah.
Jones. Good to see you.
See you in a week, Russell.
Fran, he had a question. Juji, how many cups of coffee do you drink a day? And Joey, how many biceps tears do you get a day?
Okay, I don't measure the amount of coffee I drink by cups. I measure it by pots. So that answers your
I can
question.
confirm. It's
I also drink rain as well. So
J. Nick recommended that in order to do some more soul searching, you need to do Litvinov number 2.
no. I think I have PTSD.
the Litvinov workout was one of the worst, but also it was because it was so cold outside.
No one knew about that.
It was so cold, dude.
Like, I don't know if we ever said that. It was the weirdest day.
Well, in the subtext of the video, you guys noted that you had socks on your hand. Like, we had to dig through our van to find anything to cover our hands.
We had
So
socks
cold.
as mittens, and then we would be in like a sweatsuit for a second on between our sets. Like every time to try to do it. It was so cold. It was the strangest day. Like, I think what month was that?
It was March in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, so I think it was
March or
30
April.
degrees plus the wind chill, because I remember how windy.
I think tracks in general, just because they're big open spaces, they become kind of wind.
No, it's facts. It's facts. So I coached lacrosse, and you can be in the parking lot, feels great. Go into the stadium, and you automatically have to put a jacket that's like whatever on.
Now I'm kind of curious, like these track athletes that have to train on a track all the time. It's like, since tracks just sort of attract wind, they like have to change their workouts, like their RPE, their load, their reps, their sets. Do have to like put notes in their training logs, like professional track athletes when they're like running against the wind versus like with the wind on their back. They're like, okay, the wind was against me today, so I'm going to do one less 100-meter sprint.
There's a song about that.
There's a song about that.
RPE track.
No, against the wind.
Oh, okay. So,
That's a great song that's not going to be playing right now. Get demonetized for that one.
Absolutely.
yeah, it's probably like the guys who less windy states or and then windy place. Imagine the difference. Like heat. You know what I mean? Like people who are like high altitude,
Yeah.
they have an advantage. Probably see.
When I was in tricking, a lot of tricksters, acrobatics stuff, train outside, every time I had to watch the UK guys, Great Britain, train and trick outside, they're almost like they're in wind. Never said anything about it. It's just like you're looking at it and his clothes are about to be ripped off of his body, and he's trying to do like back handsprings and like 540 kicks and stuff. And it's just like, how in the hell do you cope, dude?
Yeah. I have no trick experience, but can you tell the difference? Like on a windy day, if it affects your mood?
Absolutely.
You can.
100% it does. I've had such bad workouts sometimes. If those paraphernalia cameras are giving us some problems, we give them the 1-2 punch, David. Have no chill, bro. Have no chill. No mercy. Okay.
Is good with the camera.
Hey,
I
Joey,
like it.
Don't
talk
you
a little
start that.
closer to the mic.
I will talk
They want to
very
hear
close.
every single word.
I
We're
want you
working
to
on. We're
hear
not
my
Joe
voice.
Rogan yet, guys. We don't have this down, but we do have a lava lamp, and I've never seen a lava lamp on his table.
Can we appease Carrie real quick and just see? Can you just touch elbows?
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Yes, absolutely. Wind definitely does affect acrobatic stuff. I've had workouts that were ruined by it so much that I actually remember just leaving. Like,
really?
I would just stop training. I'd be like, it would affect me that much. I'd get pissed. I'd gather my stuff, get in my car, and drive home. That's how much it affected me. So I don't understand how the UK guys were dealing with it, because it looks really windy over there in that country.
I've just picked up jogging again. Running is a far stretch for me, but jogging. And when it is windier,
yeah. Wind is nerve-wracking. No, it's no joke. All right, guys, if you don't know what Joey's here for, we've already done the things that he came here to do, and we already did the things that we did. But we're here just chatting for a little bit, and you're welcome to go ahead and ask questions and do some shouts. We'll have some fun just bantering with you guys. It's just for fun. But we did do the Tom Platz squat challenge. It's 525 pounds he did 23 reps. Okay, so we both attempted that. You can see on our Instagram, we posted what we were able to do. You killed it, bro. Like, really good job.
You killed it though too, dude. We both just decided to hop into this thing, and it was pure fun to just see what it was going to be about. And I think for doing that, we were both happy with our performance.
I was happy with it because just about 3 years ago, that was basically my 1 rep max.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'm doing 10 reps with the weight that was my 1 rep max in June of 2019.
Yeah, no, it was impressive. And the cool part is how great we were unsure of how we were going to feel the next day, and we feel great.
Yeah, that was the thing. Is like, every time I can reflect on doing like high rep squats, like 20 rep sets of squats, the first thing I think of is like, I'm going to throw up. Throw up's going to happen. I'm going to get queasy. I'm going to be on the ground and stuff. Just like all these things go through my head. But I think now that I'm reflecting, and I told you this the other day, I think that's because usually that comes after a bunch of other stuff in a workout, or you've already done a bunch of sets, so you just decide to do a 20 rep set of squats. Because I tried to go AMRAP on that, and I was done, and I wasn't like messed up, dude. I was just like, that's it. It's just like I'm taking any other exercise to failure is what it felt like. It was like, okay, well, that's it. That's all I got. You know.
Can we talk, like, if you have a strategy going into it? Or do you want them to
just no, I didn't. I mean, what was your strategy?
Well, they got like the preference of
I was just like, let's just go, bro.
Yeah, but like, were you thinking like how you were gonna squat, or like cues in your head, or just like how could you maximize the rep potential of your...
Honestly, looking back, I think I could have done better, because I was worried, like, if the weight is on my back too long, fatigue, so I kind of have to knock them out quick. So I did the reps faster than I would have done, you know, but, you know, so I forced them out faster.
Yeah.
I think if I tried it again, I would kind of pace myself and stand more at the top, because I burnt myself out real quick. You know what I mean? I think I probably could have cranked out another rep or two.
You were saying your glutes were like...
Oh, that was the best
that's where
part.
You were feeling it.
Yeah, that's the best part for me, is because, you know, you're worried on something like that, your back's going to give out, you're going to get tweaked, or your knees, you know. I had no joint pain, no back pain. My shoulders were kind of wrenched to get underneath the bar, because I don't really squat much anymore with, like, you know, but I needed to get my hands in so that my back didn't fatigue. But yeah, the thing they gave out was my ass, which is great, because like that's what I usually feel when I squat is glutes. And it just felt like muscle fatigue. It just felt like taking bicep curls to failure. Like, it doesn't
why do we
work.
have to bring it up?
I did. I did that on purpose.
Why are you doing this?
I don't know. It's just, you know, someone has to do it, Joey.
I'm sure the live streamers listening are going to do it already, but this is the kind of guy he is, man. He's just...
Okay, let's go back to your bicep tear again.
Let's not
let's
say
talk,
we did.
No, I'm serious. I got questions about your bicep tears. Multiple. You know, so it's plural, guys. So it's this arm.
Yep.
And the first tear was
down here.
Yeah.
Complete tear.
And then the second one, was it up here?
It's up here.
See, that's a weird place to tear a bicep.
Yeah.
Tell us more about what it's like to tear a bicep up there.
Well, it's never good, and I don't condone it to anybody.
How did it happen?
Okay, so how it happened was...
And when did it happen?
Sam said nobody ever tears their biceps twice.
Yeah, well, I did. So I'm officially a strongman. For those of you that don't know, everybody always asks, are you a pro strongman? And yes, I am now, because I've torn my bicep twice. So
when were those tears?
So the one was it was last July. It was here. We had the boogs, and the mindset was strong, very strong. We were doing preacher or spider bar curls for, what was it? Do you remember the weight? It was like 165 or something like that.
I think we got up to around 165.
Yeah, 165 for max reps. And the thing that caught me off guard is if we're like thinking how many could I have done, I thought I had at least 3 more in the tank. And as I went to curl the second or third rep, it just went. And it was like a pop, pop, pop sensation. I knew, I kind of looked at them, and right away I was like, I'm pretty sure I tore my bicep. And they were kind of like, no way, no, you didn't. And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like,
look, I'm going to tell you guys the background story of that event with Eric Boogan. I've never told anyone. I've never told the viewers this.
Right.
What went down and what happened about an hour before.
This is why you're here, guys.
Okay,
juicy details.
This is inside scoop. Okay, you guys are gonna love this, and you're probably gonna hate me for hate me after I'll tell you the story. It worked like this. See, that video that me and Eric did in the grocery store where we bought all the pretzels. What you guys don't know is that after he bought all those pretzels, he refused to eat anything else for 2 days. After he was here for about 2.5, 3 days, we did that the first time he was here. He refused to eat anything else but those pretzels. And I was like, I cooked tilapia or like basa, cod, beef, rice, vegetables, all the nice
energy-giving is dedicated
foods. I cooked that stuff, and I'd literally slide it underneath him and be like, I made you a meal. I'm eating the same meal. We're eating together. And he'd just be like, I'm not eating that, bro. I'm not eating that. I'm going to stay true to who I am. And he'd eat these pretzels because he wanted to be consistent with the
ancient grains.
With the joke. He was actually doing it. He ate pretzels for like 2 days straight. All right. Well, when you eat nothing but hard pretzels, you can't eat that many because your teeth hurt like hell.
Jaw pump.
They tear apart your gums. This dude's eating pretzels for 2 days and he gets tired. So he doesn't really want to do anything anymore. He's just kind of like, I'm done. I don't care, because I'm like, dude, if you ate a real meal, you'd have a little bit more energy. But he's like, I'm not eating that. I'm eating pretzels. I'm staying true to to the diet. I'm So I had to think of a way. I was like, okay, we want to film a video. We want to get something going. So I tried to trick the boogs into doing a video. So I was like, I could play mind games with this guy too. Not very many people can. I can play with this guy. I'm like, okay, Eric. Like, tired, right? He's like, yeah. But you're never too arms are so easy, man. You can always do arms. You always have energy to do arms. He's like, yeah. It's like, okay, right. So we're gonna do biceps because they're easy, right? He's like, yes. All right, okay. So I tricked him into doing an arm workout, right? So we're gonna do an arm workout video, but it has to be interesting. Well, he only likes to crap. I was like, okay, so we're gonna max out on preacher curl. All right, so he's like, okay, well, he got me to do biceps, and now we're gonna do 1 rep max preacher curl. Cool. Now we got a video. So we do a video where we're going off against each other on who can do the most preacher curls at a really high weight. And during this whole video, did you put this? I think you put this.
This is in my video.
Yeah.
Because I kept just repeating the phrases over and over. We probably could have tallied at least 10 or 12 times.
I kept telling you, nobody tears their biceps doing curls. It never happens. I believed it.
Did you?
I did believe it. I didn't trick you into this. I tricked him into doing the fucking workout. But I wasn't trying to trick you, and I sincerely believe that nobody tears their biceps doing curls. I thought people only tear their biceps doing things like deadlifts, stones, anything where their arms are extended. I've heard of people like grabbing and wiggling things, and it's usually straight arm static positions with a lot of tension, maybe arm wrestling, but never curls. No one tears their bicep doing curls. This is full range. And so I believed it could not happen. And
you were wrong.
I was wrong.
I did the impossible. I did it.
Yes, but it was my fault, sort of. Because I was the one that got us into that situation. And then I was just like, I kept telling you, it ain't going to happen, man. You're good. You can go as hard as you can.
I won't lie. I didn't believe it would happen either. Because we were all joking about it it was almost like we forced it into existence. Not going to lie.
Well,
we became the self-fulfilled prophecy, or I did at least.
I've already apologized to you. I feel bad about it, of course.
Don't apologize, because that video did really well, and at the time, I really needed it. So was great for my monetization and a learning lesson. But yeah, I tore my bicep completely off the bone.
So you didn't get it reattached, did you?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I got the surgery to reattach.
Okay, so that's what they take the tendon and they actually like drill it through a bone?
It's called a button procedure. Basically, they pull it back down, they drill a hole, put it in the hole, and over time it heals inside the bone. So now it's like anchored technically like into concrete. So they say it's better now, like it's way stronger than it would have been naturally, that type of.
Yeah.
So listen, it's a blessing in disguise. Now this bicep is slightly deformed and impenetrable in so many ways.
From the mindset.
Yeah, I mean the coolest part. I will say the coolest part. There were actually two cool parts that were off camera. One, Eric confirming that I totally embody the mindset. I thought that was cool to like get that from him. He's like, dude, you like totally went all in on it. He's like, I gotta respect you. Like that was crazy. And I was like, to hear that from him, that was pretty cool. This is the first time we had met. The other thing was Eric's off-camera sincerity of like how much he cared. Like he was genuinely like, he was upset like with me, like with you, like worrying about me. And I didn't, when you do these collabs, you don't know how people are going to be off camera or different.
Yeah.
But with him, he texted me multiple times, was sending me messages. It was a long way. Because you have to do that. But I remember just like, so that was just cool knowing he was like that off camera. But yeah, so anyway, I tore the second one in this March of 2022 at a competition. And that one was literally the last event of a strongman competition.
It was the last stone in
the stone series. I was loading it onto a platform, and as I was loading it over the bar, midway up, I just felt a pop kind of higher up in my shoulder. And then I realized instantly that I had a second tear in my bicep. And there was like a ball of tissue kind of rolled up high in my shoulder. And then I got that looked at, and basically it was a proximal bicep tear, so up towards the shoulder. But the good news is that talking to the doctor, he said this is the type of tear where you don't necessarily need surgery. If you let it heal on its own, it's going to be the same as if you did get the surgery. Most of the time, they don't even recommend the surgery for it. So I decided to do the same thing, protocol, to heal that one. But honestly, it was just a kick in the nuts because it was like, man, I just had been here. You were the first person I called when it happened after the competition, just to be like, dude, like, what do I do? Where do I go from here? Like, I don't know what are the next steps to take. Like, and then, over time, I just have been letting it heal on its own, and it's been feeling pretty good. So I'm excited and just optimistic about the whole thing.
What is I don't, such a weird area to tear a bicep right here. Usually happens down here.
Well, it didn't happen down there because that bad boy is anchored in the bone.
If
that happened again, man, you better bet I'd be calling that doctor up ASAP, a little aggravated. But yeah, so things happen, training issues, injuries, they happen when you're kind of on that extreme end of the spectrum, I believe. Like, I'm doing kind of abnormal feats of strength, and things can happen. But
what about like overuse type injuries? There was someone in chat who asked about that earlier.
Overcoming overuse injuries?
Yeah.
Oh, I think overuse injuries are way worse, honestly, for the most part, because they take a long time to develop, and I think they take a long time to get rid of too, unfortunately. But they're usually a little bit more manageable because when you tear something, like, you have to work around it hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
When you have an overuse injury, you tend to have good days and bad days with it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Does that include good days training, bad days training?
Yeah. So, like, so say you have an overuse injury of your patellar tendons, which is below the kneecap. It's very common, and I've had below the kneecap pain for most of the time in my life because acrobatics outside at a large body weight, I don't really care what exercises you give me, or if you tell me knees over toes, guys. It's just, guys, I've been there, done that. 2005, 2006, 2007. I've done all those isometric eccentric exercises. I've done all the backward sled walking. I've done all the elevated disc, the range of motion. It doesn't do anything. If there's nothing left because you've destroyed it doing double leg twist outside on grass at 220 pounds, you know, it's just like no amount of funky exercises that you find or, you know, that are inspiring you are going to help you. So you just kind of have to work with what you have left. But that doesn't say that you can't do anything to kind of like build all the muscles up around it to make them stronger and to take a little bit of pressure off of them, because if they do need to regenerate, they probably need a longer timeline. So we're talking about overuse injuries, guys. So for example, like leg extensions and stuff, you hear a lot of crap about them being like bad for your knees and stuff. Leg extensions were one of the best things for my knee, honestly, is building up the muscles with that exercise around the top of the knee, with that exercise in particular, actually made it more resilient on squats. You know what I mean?
I'm kind of just piggybacking off what you said. I know you dealt with elbow tendonitis and like knee tendonitis.
Yeah.
Comparing that to like a bicep tear, the bicep tear, to be completely honest with you guys, wasn't painful when it happened. It just happened. And then after the surgery, the initial surgery, like healing from that, it was fine. Where like when you have knee tendinopathy or elbow tendinopathy, that stuff is just painful all the time. Like even when you're just like sitting down like at the kitchen table, your knees hurt or your elbows are kind of aching, and and it's just tough to. It takes a lot of time, like you were saying, to kind of get rid of that. So for me, I mean, I'd rather honestly just like have something like what happened to me versus kind of always just dealing with this nagging pain all the time, which is what you get a lot from those overuse type of injuries.
So Joey, we got a question, a super chat from Eric Parker.
Thank you.
Do you
Eric.
think hydration level at the time of the tears was factored into this?
Great question.
100%. So I don't think people knew this either. I was in a pretty big cut when this had happened. So I was the leanest I ever had been. And in the video, when you watch it, you can just tell, like I had like a 6-pack. I was very vascular. It was the most work I've ever put into a body transformation. And so I definitely think I was dehydrated. I also was doing a lot of driving. I think I had a couple trips that I was just in the car a lot. So I think there were a lot of variables that were at play as to why this had happened outside of just doing the preacher curl, which is easy to say for people like, oh, he was doing preacher curls, he was going heavy, that's what happened. But there were some other variables that were in there that I think, you know, stemmed this to happen.
The 2 times that Antoine Veillant tore his bicep, he was dehydrated.
So Tacky, we got a super chat from Tacky.
Thank you, Tacky.
Is that rainbow sherbet talking about hydration?
Oh, this
By
is my
far,
favorite.
Second best flavor. First goes to white gummy bear.
I think that this is tied with orange dreamsicle for me. But when I had tried this, it was before it ever came out, because Kellen is his name, right? Kellen was here for Thanksgiving. He brought a case of this, and I was like instantly, it reminded me of like a Flintstone push pop when you were a kid.
Yeah.
That's exactly like what I thought when I was drinking it.
Yeah.
So it was like 1, nostalgic, which I loved, and 2, just that this is my favorite flavor. So it banging.
So you got to think about like from Reign's position and from the perspective of the consumers that consume these drinks after the brand builds itself up to a certain point. They have a lot of pressure to get a flavor right when they like. There's zero room for error at that point. So I mean, a couple years ago, I think they came out with like 3 flavors at once, and then they got even bigger. And I was like, release one flavor, it better be damn good, you know. But
this is really good.
The other thing about working with brands and being sponsored is a lot of people think it's just like.
Dan Brown mentioned he's more of a Monster guy.
Well, Monster owns Reign, so.
Oh, Sam and the White Monsters, I know.
Yeah, so there's Sam, Monster and Reign, as far as I'm aware with the relationship with companies, is just don't step on each other's toes.
Yeah,
Help each other, kind of help each other out behind the scenes. You know what I mean? This is kind of the way I've observed they work from a corporate standpoint and from, you know, working with a team. But the thing is, like, when you're working with like sponsors, like people think it's just, oh, you're just getting paid and blah blah blah. It's really about the relationship you have with these companies. So you're talking about Kellen, he's an awesome dude. The athlete manager at Reign is such a badass, man, and he's a good friend, and he helps us all out. He lived in the area for a bit. I used to have him come over like every week or two.
Oh, really?
Time to work out. Yeah.
You guys are training together?
Yeah, we train together.
I mean, I can speak. I just met him one time, but I thought he was cool as heck. He talked to me for a while, just was listening and engaging, asking me questions. So you know, it definitely made me more of a fan of the brand just because I knew that guy was a part of it.
Yeah, he's up there too. But I mean, it's like he was here for Thanksgiving, and him and my dad went walking, and they're like talking about Jack Reacher novels for like hour. I was like, where the hell go? It's like they come back, they just been talking about Jack Reacher books when they went on a walk for like a few hours.
Cool
so
dude.
having a lot of people just think that these sponsor things kind of like have no soul to them, but it's about team. It's about like a teamwork and relationship you're building with them. Like HD, for example, the guy that owns the company does my nutrition for me for my bodybuilding shows. He helps me taper down and dial it in for shows. I'm about 10 weeks out right now, guys. So coffee is definitely on the table.
Yeah, we actually did have a guy, Christian, earlier in chat. He's about to do his first men's physique contest. His dad was a pro.
Yeah, wow,
Any
cool.
advice for? I think it's a few weeks out.
Is this your first show? I have to ask that first. But from what I've been told from the other guys, the first show is always the hardest because after you know kind of what's going to happen, then you know what to expect.
He's 3 weeks out.
That's a bad place to be. 3 weeks. 3 weeks
Look like this.
Yeah, well, he probably feels like that. I think for me, 8 weeks out is about when I was like, okay, yeah, I'm having to like have a little bit of willpower here. You know, it wasn't too bad. And about 6 weeks out, you know, it's a slow degradation. You know, like 3 weeks out's tough. I figured like 2 weeks out was like that's when I was like, okay, this sucks. Like I hate this. Like I'm like not wanting to walk over there. I'm trying to conserve my energy as much as possible. I'm trying to like measure my steps and not walk more than 4,000 a day because I knew if I walked more than that, I'd go flat. My workouts would suck. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I mean, it was that razor thin. So just I guess my advice, man, is just don't move around too much if you don't have to and stay cool. Like literally like air conditioned.
I remember
it helps.
One, I knew you had turned your phone off for how to get on. Send me some sort of like voice message. I could just tell by the way you sounded, like you were in the hole, man. Like, and you were just like, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to get through like this prep right now. Like everything is just painful, and you know, I just needed to tune like the world out essentially. And it's like, yeah, man, I give a lot of credit to you and those guys that push themselves to that limit because that is like a whole different side of extreme that. From a strength sport perspective, I mean, I've never been there.
Yeah.
But it's different, and you respect it from that aspect.
Yeah, I think you should do it one time. I think
I was about to say, Citizen Duck TV just did a super chat. He said, Joey, do you have any interest in competing in bodybuilding in the future?
I think I will. I'm the kind of guy, just like Juji, like, where we deem ourselves polyathletes. So, you know, I'm doing the Strongman thing right now. People don't know, but when I was 18, I actually did a natural bodybuilding show. And I guess that was kind of like my first introduction to it. I love training bodybuilding style. Like whenever it's like, what am I going to train? I always find myself going back to bodybuilding just because I like the way it feels. It's definitely different than when you train for a strength sport. I think it's more enjoyable. And there's a lot more room for variation there.
Oh yeah, with bodybuilding training, you be creative and it just works. It's just like
you're
everything works. Okay.
Yeah, you can do whatever you got to do to get to that stimulus that you need. Where when you're doing the strongman show or a strength sport like powerlifting, you have specific lifts that you constantly need to be training, and you can't really deviate from that plan much.
Yeah.
So for me, I think down the road there's a foreseeable bodybuilding show, and I think some sort of strength training will always be a part of what I do, but at the same time, I like to throw myself into different sports for the appreciation, the challenge of it, and learning. Like you learn a lot, man.
Dude, so much.
Actually, Joseph Jones just brought up a good question. What about the tattoos, and how does that factor in with judges?
I mean, it's probably definitely to my disadvantage, but you know, it is what it is. Like I'm going in there and I'm just going to do the best I can.
I should know that, but honestly, I don't know the answer to that one.
I think it hides vascularity.
But they don't judge on that.
They don't?
They don't judge on vascularity.
Okay.
The fans do. The fans love to see.
Yeah. Well, are there any
juicy, veiny fire hose veins all over your forehead and nose?
Yeah, I got to get the forehead veins going. I'm not there yet.
Hey, Katie's
you
here.
look like you're 45 when you're only 29.
So that brings up another good question Katie brought up. Any hints on the next book or program?
Me?
Yeah.
Ah, damn.
From Katie.
Yeah, we didn't set up that overlay. I have The Bridges coming out. It's my new program. I'm working on it. I love it. It took about a year to make, actually. I had
artwork, hands down.
The artwork is sick.
It is so
on
sick.
It is.
I would get the tattoo of that. Like when he showed me that immediately, I was like, that could potentially be my next tattoo.
Yeah.
Like it was that cool.
Yeah, the cover of the program looks good, but the inside of the program looks good. It's a mixture of strongman, bodybuilding, and powerlifting. And it's kind of like if anyone doesn't really know which direction they want to go, they can just kind of settle here and have some fun. And it's kind of like a little bit more ambiguous in the end goal, so it's like there's not as much stress. You can learn some things from it. So thank you for asking. It'll come out pretty soon.
And we got another super chat from Eric Parker.
Thanks, Eric.
Speaking of strongman, who do you guys think will be the first to break the strongman deadlift record? And he is also asking who will win between Devin and Levon. So a little strongman, a little arm wrestling.
You answer the strongman question. I'll answer the arm wrestling question.
To be completely honest, being a strongman athlete, I don't honestly know much about the athletes. I've been that guy like my whole life that I played sports, but I never knew the athletes in the sports that I played. And it was weird because I excelled at a high level. So unless I'm friends with the people that I'm in the sport with, I don't really know. Like, so for me, my answer right now is like Martins, because I met him. I like him.
The deadlift record?
Maybe not the deadlift record. I don't like who are the biggest deadlifters right now. Do you know?
Come on, Chet. Let us know who are the biggest deadlifters.
Who is the best? I mean, JF Caron was, but he really hurt himself pretty bad at the Arnold's. He had a really high deadlift. It was in the thousands.
Wow.
Well, speaking of people who have hurt themselves in their quads, we have Fish here who's asking, have you been in touch with
We have. We're trying to get him to do a project with us in September, so he's still working through his injury. I keep in touch with him. He's freaking awesome. We did tell a story about him at the beginning of this podcast for a good 10 minutes there, so you watch the VOD of this later and check it out. And I do want to answer the Devin Levon question real quick.
So we got some people who can't talk. The best deadlifters right now. We have Mitchell Hooper, Eddie Hall, Thor, Bobby Thompson.
Well, Eddie Hall's retired. Thor's retired. Novikov is, I don't think he's going to break a deadlift record, no.
Bobby Thompson, out of the people mentioned, is probably the strongest.
Bobby Thompson's an overhead press lifter, isn't he? I don't think he's from the ground lifter. I think he's better on overhead stuff.
I have no idea.
I think he is. So out of those guys, all I know is Mitchell Hooper did good getting into the finals on Worlds, but I'm not sure.
Well, Obey also said Tom Stolman.
Tom Stolman with the deadlift record? Maybe a stone record. Stone's kind of like deadlift. You lift a 600 pound. If you can lift a 600 pound stone, you can lift a 600 pound anything.
What about people who work night shifts? This is from Neil.
Good question. I think that one's better for you, actually.
Optimizing muscle growth.
Because, Joe, you work with a lot of, yeah.
And then we'll come back to the Devin and Levon.
Specifically on night shift?
I'm going to go pee real quick.
Okay.
Take this one on your own.
So, Joey, any tips for lifters who work on night shifts, at least to optimize muscle growth and gains? Thank you.
Yeah, so when it comes to night shift, one of my training partners, shout out DK, he's night shift. He finds just training right after work, it works for him, but he also, his job allows him to do that in a sense where, it's not super strenuous on the body, I believe. But typically what I would say on the opposite side of that is if you can get the training session in before you go to work, that may be better because you're going to have the most energy. I know it stinks because you're kind of just waking up, you may be groggy, but if you're working a job that is highly demanding, it may be better to get that training stimulus in before and then do your job, go to bed. But if you can't, honestly, it's tough. Like my best answer would be, I wish you didn't work night shift for a million reasons, but I know that's not usually doable.
You gotta eat.
Yeah, we gotta eat. So in that case, I would just say figure out if before or after works better for you and do that. And then the last tip I'll give you is a lot of people do a ton of junk volume with their training, which what I mean by that is they're just doing unnecessary work and they're kind of overdoing it and they're just fatiguing themselves. So in that case, it's almost like less is more.
My neighbor's drunk.
His neighbor's drunk.
My neighbor's drunk. He's outside like yelling at the top of his lungs like Elvis.
Can we get him in here?
Well, I mean, like he's singing Elvis songs at the top of his lungs. I think he has a microphone because it sounds projected. It's really.
This guy sounds cool. Is he cool?
Well, actually, we do have some questions we have to come back to. Devin versus Levon. We never answered Eric's question, the second half.
Honestly, I haven't. I've watched a ton of Devin arm wrestle, and I've locked up with. Big fan of Devin. He's a personal friend. Levon, I don't know too much about him, but I know he outweighs Devin by a lot, and it's like, well, how is he going to beat this guy that's totally outweighing him completely out of his weight class? And it's like, well, did you forget about Devin beating Jerry Catterett at his own game just a couple years ago? Like, Jerry's a presser, and Devin beat him in pressing. You watched the video yesterday.
All I gotta say is Devin is a specimen.
He's a freak.
He's a freak in every way.
He's a
his
freak.
mental game is by far, like, we're talking about like character stats in like a video game, and when it comes to like his mental ability to get inside your head, you don't stand a chance. Even me watching him, like, I can feel my insides, kind of like my heart's beating more, because I'm like, dude, this guy is like next level. And you're even saying, like, if he ever offers to like shake your hand or do a trial match or something, don't do it, because he's trying to feel you out.
He's going to get information.
He's going to get information.
The moment he touches your hand, it's just like he's going to download a bunch of data from you and figure you out. It's a freak, but it's like, I think that's why Levon shut him off, because even Levon doesn't even think he can stand this anymore. And that's why Devin's not liking the fact that he's not playing the hype up game.
So speaking of hype up, Sam Brown just said, what sort of new collabs project are you two guys working on over the next few months? Do people need a teaser?
Can't get a teaser for the project we have lined up, but it's pretty big. But it's after my show. I have a bodybuilding show, so unfortunately you guys have to wait for me to waste away on low-calorie diet, but fortunately, again, for you guys. But I'm working with PH Deadlift, Ben Pollock. Of course, I'm going to go to Canada. Well, shoot, in Canada, we're going to be working with a lot of people in the Ontario, Toronto area, so a lot of people up there, more people than just the Pure Muscle Fitness team like we did last year. They're going to help me prep. So, yeah, in the next couple months, there's a lot going on there. And then afterwards, I plan to do a lot more collabs in September and October, because I just kind of want to get out and travel and not have to weigh my rice perfectly and worry about like my physique stage like 6 to 8 weeks out.
Eat a burger or something maybe.
Okay, so that answers Dana's question. Dana's been asking burgers or hot dogs.
Burgers.
Oh.
Just want to put it out there. Hot dogs are called glizzies if you're a modern day high schooler. I work with high schoolers, and I just found that out. I found it pretty interesting. So if you eat a hot dog, you're a glizzy gobbler.
Who the hell is gonna go, dude, hot dogs, hands down. I'm just craving a hot dog. Like, no one says that, but like a big juicy hamburger, like, you hear that very often.
I mean, have you ever been to a baseball game?
Well, yeah.
But don't you just want a hot dog at a baseball game?
But they don't have burgers.
I know, but if you had the option, you would go with a hamburger at a baseball game over a hot dog?
They answered the night shift question a little bit earlier if you go back and chat.
I missed the answer for the night shift because I was peeing outside listening to my neighbor belt out Elvis tunes. So what was the answer?
Get your session in before your shift, basically.
Or after if you
Russell,
can't do it before. And then focus on less is more concept. Like, focus on the primary movements you need to hit to get the best stimulus and cut out the junk volume.
Yeah.
Like, and I think you'll be okay, and your training will actually be better if you do that.
Yeah. You want to have a grip off?
We got a super
but I
chat
feel like
from
that's
Red
a rhetorical question.
Anthrax. Get Boogs in here.
Well,
that's the goal.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not like we
recovered.
don't want him in here, but he got to get him recovered. Let's go have a grip off real quick.
Before we do that, we have one more super chat from Carolyn Looms. Gigi, would you ever collab with Evan or?
Actually, not aware of. I hate it when I don't know who it is, because people hold me accountable for knowing who everyone is at all times. I don't know everyone in the world, especially even in this. I actually don't know who that is, and I'm not really aware of a lot of things. So I feel bad because a lot of these people take it personally.
Carolyn, he is an arm wrestler, correct?
You know, arm wrestler? Because I don't know. So the answer is not no, but we're gonna do a grip off now. Let's go. Quick grip break, guys. For 1 minute and 30 seconds. We don't have good audio over there, but we do have music. Do this.
Obey loves your stringer, by the way.
Do you think you let me win? Did you let me win?
I didn't actually. I don't think I set very well. The audio back on this one.
I'm so happy right
Okay, yeah, I didn't set very well on it. So, but I'm gonna give it to you because I could have set better. So that's my fault. But yeah, you guys go to gripgenie.com, get some grip tools. We would have done more grip training and grip exercises in this stream, but we are having a little technical difficulties with the other camera, but that's okay. We got 5 cameras going, so what do you expect?
Let's take a look at this thing, because this thing's been making some progress.
Okay, well, I don't want to get chalk on it. It's all nice and neat, you know? It has been making progress. We had to turn on this lava lamp about 3 hours before the stream to get to
I
this.
didn't even know there was a bottle cap.
Yeah, lava lamps always have a bottle cap.
Drink it though. Isn't that that's not burning you?
No, it's just kind of warm. You see that little wire in there? I think that breaks up the gel. Yeah.
It's cool. It kind of reminded me of like an alien. Like there's an alien in there from the movie Alien, like where they walk past the glass jars and you see like little alien babies.
Yeah?
Yep.
That's weird. Sure. All right.
Okay. Well, that's what I thought.
Oh, jeez, that's a good one.
Oh yeah. Well, no. I got
think
it.
you have to close the gripper now.
I got it.
Get that purple.
Oh god. I don't think I can do this. You got me on this.
You can close a purple gripper. This is a GG3. Look at that slow motion close too. You're supposed to use speed on these. How about the other hand?
Ooh. Got some cracks in there. All right, I'm gonna try. I love this. This is my favorite color.
Purple? Yeah.
Oh,
You got to work on your grip, dude.
I got it though.
Yeah. I don't care.
You're sourpuss because I just beat you.
And the other thing, I am still sour about that. Yeah.
Oh, I got this one too, and cracked every single one of my knuckles.
Awesome.
So it's double purpose. If you need a knuckle crack and you want to work on your grip, buy that from Grip Genie. Ooh, there's a unicorn on it too.
Yeah, we got a little unicorn logo on the bottom of that one. That was a limited one. I don't think we have any left. During Christmas time, we sold a set of black of them called the Nessie grippers, man.
Yeah.
So if you guys check Grip Genie during the holidays, we tend to have like cool limited edition runs and stuff. So we had a cool like all black set with this like cool snake monster on the bottom of them. I got them on the wall over there, so we could just talk about it and not actually show you. Oh my gosh.
What about training around illness?
It's kind of like, I think it depends. Like if it's below the neck, I wouldn't touch it. Well, let's say if you're nauseous, don't train. I wouldn't.
I think you kind of just know. Like if you're really questioning it,
Yeah.
and you got something going on, it's probably better to rest. Like he said, below the neck, you're okay. If it's like a head cold and you can push through it,
Sure.
it's not gonna make it worse. Go for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we got a question about farmers. This is from, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I say.
Here, I'll try. I'll try to pronounce this guy. What we got? Oh, yeah. Wine. All right, farmers carries thoughts on sometimes using straps so grip isn't limiting factor, both for short distance very heavy and longer lighter. I think he's just wondering whether there's any use in introducing straps in and out of training for farmers.
I do it just because it allows me to overload heavier than what my grip can handle at times. I wouldn't get used to doing it that way all the time, but if you're trying to go from like a fatigue management stimulus to fatigue ratio principle, I'll do like, say I train grip maybe twice a week or maybe once a week. If it's every other week, I'll do straps and then no straps. If it's twice a week, one day I'll have no straps, and then later in the week, maybe I'll do some picks with straps and some walks just so I can feel what like that heavy weight feels like without my hands giving out.
I mean, we sell straps on Grip Genie, and it's just like, why would you sell straps from a company that actually makes tools to make your grip stronger? But it's like, if you actually want the strongest grip, you have to know when to use your grip and when not to use it. So especially when you're training back, I'll use straps a lot of times, and I always have. My forearms are huge, dude. I have really strong, big forearms.
Well, Sam Brown brings up a point. Josh Bryant programs strapped farmers, crank up the intensity for upper back and traps.
Yeah, because if your whole point is to target the back and your grip gives out first, then, dude, like, you're not doing a good job of training.
And I'll also add too, hand tearing. Like,
Yeah.
that's a pain in the butt. Once you tear your hands, you're looking at a couple weeks to get that to basically repair. So sometimes using those straps will kind of help prevent that from happening. So I'd rather not have my hands tear. So by using the straps, I think that provides
Especially closer to strongman comp because you want to save the tears for competition.
Exactly.
You don't want to tear it right before comp. So
that is not good. You do not want to do that. So I think, yes, just like you said, throw the straps in there and it's not going to hinder your performance as long as you're not depending on them.
Yeah, I mean, if you're using straps for everything all the time, I mean, you don't need to do that. I mean, a lot of times your grip will not give out when you're working your back, and you'll get a really good forearm pump too. It's just like, okay, well, that wasn't the limiting factor, but I did get a training stimulus on that group. You see.
What do you think about straps for deadlifts? Yes, no, kind of the same.
If you're going to be doing speed deadlifts, straps always. I'm talking like bands. Never deadlift with bands without straps.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? It's like the accommodating resistance is not good if you're mixed grip. So you're going to do double overhand with straps. So I always train banded deadlifts or any sort of like chains or any sort of speed deadlift like that with straps.
And when you're doing like your warm-up sets, is it always without straps and then you throw them on for like top sets?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I got a couple questions about flexibility.
Oh, right, that's my forte.
Yeah, I was about to say strongman and flexibility. So let me find Sean's question here. John Robert, do you think yoga is good for flexibility training, or is weightlifting the best for flexibility? And Neil had a follow-up question. What's your secret of being strong, athletic, but a large dude, doing that kind of flexibility?
Talking to me? Or? You're not flexible? No. What's wrong with you?
A lot.
Can you touch your toes?
I can touch my toes.
Can we see if you can touch your toes? Like, stand up. Right. I'm not moving that lava lamp. I already got it in the right spot. So gotta work around the lava lamp here, okay? All right, so.
You gonna get up on the table?
No, just put it up on the table.
Okay. Are you guys ready for the show?
Jeez, you got problems. All right. Straighten your leg. What's wrong? Push your heel out. All right, now my quad is getting in my way, but like bend down. Yeah, it's painful.
Okay, it's very painful. You can get it off without touching. It's like operation for flexibility.
Yeah.
So do you need to do yoga, I guess, coming back to Sean's question, or weightlifting, or what would you do?
Well, I've never done yoga, so I can't really answer that, but I have nothing against it. I just never done it. Antoine really loves hot yoga. The dude loves hot yoga. He's been doing it for years now. Found out about it. But I think from what I know, yoga is awesome. You can throw it in there. As far as weight training goes, make sure you're training everything through the range of motion that you train it at. And
would it only be while weight training, or would it be outside? Well,
if you really need to increase it, like it's just not increasing, then you're gonna have to add some stuff outside the gym for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For when it comes to range of motion, I'm good at the things that I need to be having that range of motion for.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like lifts, like I'm fine with that, but outside of that stuff, like doing what we just did, no. No.
Well, the thing is, like in my flexibility book I wrote, it's like what do you need flexibility for, right? It's like you usually need it for something. It's like, then how much do you need for that thing? Because you don't need an excessive amount of flexibility past that point. You can have a little bit of flexibility reserve, right? But you don't want to like, there's no reason to train side splits and stuff if your goal is just to have ass to grass squats. Your goal is to have ass to grass squats. You need to work on squatting deeper and then reverse engineering it. It's like, okay, my ankles are tight, my calves are tight. Okay, so I'll work on that. My hip, my top of my hamstrings are okay. So you just kind of reverse engineer, and you just pick 1 or 2 exercises to supplement with. You don't have to pick 12 freaking exercises. Everyone thinks that you have to have a laundry list of stretches. You just need to pick a couple and work on those for your goal.
So you being the flexibility master, is there a couple stable ones you recommend for strength sport athletes that you think would really benefit them that they're not doing?
I mean, I think like there's always a couple stretches that I'm always going to recommend. I've been recommending them for years that I think they're universally good for everything that I've done. And I do quite a lot of different things. It's a Cossack stretch, which is you're on the ground. It's like one knee, like a groin stretch type thing. Mm-hmm. A warrior lunge is good. Any dynamic stretches like front lifts, rear lifts, side bends. Those are fantastic. They carry over to athletics phenomenally, and you make insane progress so quick when you start implementing. And you can get maximum dynamic flexibility in less than 2 months with a little bit of training.
Really? That fast?
Yes, very, very quick. You make really, like, it's the fastest.
Gains, kind of, in a sense?
Biomotor gains on dynamic flexibility is the fastest out of anything that I can think of to train. You literally go from not being able to kick above your waist to kicking head height in just like less than 2 months. Zero training for most people. Like if you're a 75-year-old man that's never stretched his life, that's a stretch. But if you're like a 25-year-old and you're not completely out of shape, dude, you can get flexible fast, man.
Well, a lot of people, I don't know if would know this about me, but I grew up doing martial arts. Like I could do like machine gun kicks above my head, like I could do splits and straddles. So it is there, and I don't know, that maybe it seems interesting that we're talking about, because that would be something I would like to just get back to a degree. And I feel like if I can get those newbie gains, like you said, 2 months, I didn't know
it's that fast. It's rapid.
Yeah, but I feel like that would just be great for me and a lot of strength sport athletes in general, just to be able to have a little bit better mobility and range of motion and flexibility in those aspects.
I think it helps a lot. You can throw a couple in your warm up for like a general workout and stuff, and do some here and there. It's just not hard. Yeah. I just don't think it's hard. I think people think it's a lot harder than it is, requires more work than it is. I mean,
it feels good. Like when you're done, you're always like, okay, I'm so glad I did that. I feel really good.
No, absolutely. Like I love stretching. I stretch all the time. And it's like, how often do you stretch? Well, it's like I stretch every day, but I don't have to. Like to maintain my flexibility, I've gone stints where I don't stretch at all, and I'm still super flexible. And it's because so much of it is just like permanent, semi-permanent, because the biomotor characteristic itself is like it sticks around. It's like riding a bike, but I still stretch pretty much every day just because it feels good.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I never regret a stretch.
No, it's never a waste of time in my opinion. It's just like it just feels good. It's fun. I mean, what else are you gonna do? You gonna look at your phone or something for another 10 minutes of the day? Like how often? How long do you have to look at your phone every day?
I don't know, but answer this question from Eric Park. We're tagging back to Strongman. What changes, if any, would you make to Strongman competitions? He states, I feel like they are leaning more towards lighter weights and speed. What are your thoughts?
Me personally, if it comes down to how a show is run, I know this is not always easy, but more warm-up time and better warm-up kind of protocols in a competition. If you guys have competed in Strongman, you really don't get warm-ups kind of ever. Like,
dude, I heard it was a nightmare.
It's a nightmare. It's up to you to kind of figure out how to like, and no joke, like you bringing stuff to warm up is basically what you're going to have to do if you want to warm up. And the escalations of warm-ups when it comes to the weight, they jump so fast and so high. So from an organizational standpoint in the sport, I think that I would like that more implemented. I think it's cool to see more moving events and faster events, because I think everything has ebbs and flows and it's cyclical, right? Like we're going to have years where it's going to be very heavy. Like when you watch World's Strongest Man or the Arnold, like different shows have different modalities. Like some are going to be super heavy, some are going to be more moving. Yeah. For me, I like moving because it kind of brings that athletic perspective, and you're seeing these massive human beings, but you don't realize how fast they're actually moving. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
One thing Sam Brown pointed out was the classic 315 to 495 contest weight warm-up strongman contest.
Oh yeah, it'll go bare barbell to minimally 315, and then the next jump's going to be probably around 500 or 600 pounds. Like no joke. So when you're saying that, Sam, I totally agree.
Yeah. See, I just that would bug the hell out of me. Like, hey man, like I got some strongman equipment in the back of my truck to help warm up. Like, let's do this real quick in a parking lot before you have to jump over there and do max reps with logs. Like, sounds like a great way to hurt yourself. I don't know. Have you competed in a powerlifting meet before?
No.
Dude, you need to do that, because it's just walk into it. Don't even prep for it. Just sign up for one. Just make sure you read the rules real good. You got to have the right length wraps. You got to make sure the equipment's approved by the organization, and just go in and just walk in and just do it with no prep. It's amazing experience.
Do you get warm-ups?
You get warm-ups, yeah.
Okay. So it's different from strongman in that aspect. They're not the same.
Well, no, you get your 3 attempts. You have a warm-up room.
Yeah, but like I'll have like what I'm saying is in strongman, like you, like the warm-ups are basically non-existent.
Yeah.
So like you better figure out a way that you can either bring equipment yourself to warm up,
yeah,
or you'll see a bunch of dudes with massage guns and basically bands as their warm-up before they're about to go do a max lift.
How?
Like, and if anybody knows, you can piggyback, because I don't think I'm crazy saying that. That's just how it works and operates. Now, powerlifting's different, then that's cool to me. Like,
Powerlifting's easier than that.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Would you do another powerlifting competition?
Me?
Yeah.
Of course, I plan to. Yeah, just not right now because I'm dieting for a bodybuilding show, one thing at a time. I'd still like to get my 700-pound deadlift. I got to get it before I'm like 40. There's no reason I can't do that. It's just I don't know why there's a block there. It's like I'm getting stronger on everything but that lift, but it's okay. I'll figure it out, one thing at a time. Then I can get my squat, near 800 before I die, and then bench press.
Good, man. Your squat's been climbing.
It's so much fun. I love squatting. I mean, when I did my sub max the other day, like it was so fun for me. It's a fun lift. I just came in, I was like, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Having fun in this lift. I need to find the fun back in deadlifting, but yeah, I'm definitely going to enter another powerlifting meet.
So, you have some people asking about arm wrestling. You guys did talk about Devin versus Levon. Was in your experience watching?
What's the question? Let me see.
Talk about arm wrestling.
You just want to talk. You just want to hear us say good things about Devin. I'm going to speak the world. The guy's amazing. I don't see the question though. I don't know what you mean, but Devin is an amazing person. And
wrestling. Can you go over the rules real quick? Because like I heard, like when we were watching last night, like Devin's highlights versus other people. Like what's a foul or like technicality of this sport?
So what you were seeing, I showed Joey a reel or like a highlight reel of Devin on YouTube. His best trash talking moments. If you haven't seen that, you need to go watch it. What you kept seeing were elbow fouls, which means you have pads, and if your elbow comes off the pad, that's a foul.
Okay. So what happens if it's a foul? It just ends the match?
They can have running fouls, or they can stop. I honestly I forget, but a running foul would be you're fouled and you can put it back on like, hey, 1, 2, 3. 3 fouls is the other guy gets a point. So you can have a running foul going, or you just have fouls tally up. I actually forget which one. The other way you can foul is, I don't know if it's a foul, but false start. And oftentimes if you have like false start problems or you can't get the guys to agree, they'll go into straps. Okay. This is what happens when the guy does this. And from what Devin's believes, what Devin has said, he says all roads lead to straps. He says real arm wrestling happens in straps. He seems to think that like non-strap arm wrestling is like, he says it's just a stepping stone to get into the straps. So,
Okay.
So what about you versus Larry Wheels?
I mean, Larry would crush me because he's training arm wrestling and I'm not.
I have a question on arm wrestling again, because I'm not an arm wrestler. I've never competed in arm wrestling. The only arm wrestling I ever have seen has been really through you or you exposing me to it. But it seems like there is a crazy community and culture for the sport. Like, what do you think makes that such a big like draw to arm wrestling?
You watched some videos last night, right? Isn't it kind of like hard not to look away?
No, it is.
It's very hard to look away. Like you don't want to look away because any second shit's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen fast, and it's going to be, you don't want to miss it because it's amazing when it happens. It's fun to watch. I think the other thing is, like I was talking about this, it's just like Dragon Ball Z. Like, whose power level's higher? Oh, the power level's doing this. Oh, this guy's power level's this. There's a lot of, like, there's a totally huge DBZ feel in arm wrestling. So that's kind of like where people are like, oh, his power level's never been this high. And I think all the fans get high off that feeling.
Also the trash talking too, right?
The trash talking. Oh, it's arm wrestling. Literally, like, what is WWE? It's just promos and trash talking and drama. And that's the cool part about that sport. That entertainment is this arm wrestling. It's entertainment, man. It's awesome. I love that trash talking stuff. I think that makes the sport. What am I reading?
Oh, we're gonna say hi to Lauren.
Lauren, where I don't see Lauren on here. Oh, there she is. Hey.
Hi, Lauren.
Hey, Lauren. Hey, Lauren, how are you? Took me a while to see the comment. I was like, what am I looking at, Sam?
We do have a question from Le Gentleman. If you had to pick one athletic trait to increase by 10% instantly, what would it be? Like,
I'll take my deadlift.
Well, no.
If I increase it by 10%, I'll have a 700-pound deadlift.
A trait such as speed, strength, flexibility, eye-hand coordination, etc.
Well, if I had to increase, this is a fun question. Thank you. If I had to increase an athletic trait by 10%.
What are your thoughts?
So right now I've been focusing on building my explosive power back. I was an Olympic lifter in the past, and I felt like I had that, like a lot of that fast twitch explosiveness from doing those lifts. And then I started traveling more into just getting my raw strength increased for a while. And now I've noticed I've slowed down, especially because I'm actually playing sports literally, like I'm playing in a men's lacrosse league. And that's just something I miss. I miss like being shifty, being explosive, and having like that ability to change direction and like just that raw, just pure power. So I've been training that more recently, and it's been a lot of fun.
10%'s a hell of a lot, though. Like 10% like muscle increase would be like, let's say you're like 250 pounds. It's like adding 25 pounds to your frame, like 275. That's the difference between an amateur and a pro. 10%.
Athletic, or was it anything?
Anything. Like 10% on a lift is like, if you got a 700-pound lift, it'd be an extra 70 pounds. That's nothing to sneeze at, man. 10% is a ton to increase anything by. It's the difference between like world class and like you can't get anyone to care about what you do. It's a good question. It's hard. I can't really answer that. I guess I pick speed because it's if you don't have speed, you can't really get it. I think you have to pretty much be born with speed up to a certain point. You can build strength, you can build some muscle, but speed is like, I know guys like Clarence Kennedy, man, like, and John Hack. Those guys are freaks. And it's just like, of course, they train really hard and consistently, and they do boring exercises year in, year out. So I'm not taking anything away from them, but they have a certain speed component to what they do that you either have it or you don't, man.
So if you could increase that, you would.
I think so.
Okay.
Because there's no way I could increase it like on my own.
Well, Legendful Man said, if you don't choose glute size, you're wrong. But to follow this up, Basement Brandon is here with Super
Hey,
Chat.
Basement Brandon.
Yeah, he said, first time, long time. Glad to see you both back on the content grind.
I like the fact that he used the word grind. It's kind of funny. It's kind of facts, yeah. The live streams aren't a grind for me. I'm just having fun, guys. That's why we're doing live streams. You've never seen live streams on the channel. There's no like huge strategy for it other than just like I just wanted to find something in it that I loved again, And Joe, you're talking about this. You're talking about finding the fire again.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, like you do something for 20 years, and I've been making videos since like 2001. That's when I started making videos. I had a digital 8 camcorder. I used to record myself in my garage training. I put them together in a little reel, and I'd upload it to the internet and post it to a server and share it to people in forums and stuff and get feedback and make friends that way. You've been making videos for 20 years, like, and when you have an audience and platforms and stuff, things kind of change. And it's like, I'm going to do it forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there's always going to be cycles of ups and downs where it's like, I'm not into it now, or I am.
It's like anything else, just like training, you know? But I think we always ask ourselves, like, if all that went away, would we still be doing it for us? And the answer is always yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, what if you couldn't make videos anymore? I think that would kill me more than having to make them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and it's the same with training. Yeah, same with training. It's like, imagine if you, like when you're really tired in a bodybuilding prep or a powerlifting prep's way worse, in my opinion. Training for a powerlifting prep's way worse than training in bodybuilding prep.
Really?
Dieting's way worse in bodybuilding, and injury levels throughout the day are worse, but in powerlifting prep, like, workouts suck. You feel like crap afterwards. Strongman's probably very similar. But imagine if you couldn't do it. That would be way worse.
Well, there is a community that misses you. Mr. Chance Shah, arm wrestling friend here. He says,
oh, is that dude here? Dude, that dude is
GG?
huge.
Really?
Yeah,
that
dude has gotten huge. You should see this dude. He's a monster. He's always wearing these cool button-up shirts.
The arm wrestling community misses you, brother.
Thanks for being welcoming, Chance. I really appreciate that. I love you, man.
So, we also have a follow-up super chat from Eric Parker.
Eric again, man.
Yeah.
Eric's crushing it, man.
What do you think of Terry Holland's body transformation? Talk about.
I was going to ask you that earlier, actually.
Can you talk about some of the challenges he's had doing what we not think of?
I was going to ask you about Terry Hollands earlier. Have you seen this dude?
He was like a rugby player, right? And a
oh
strongman?
my God, you're a strongman, Joey.
No. But didn't he play rugby?
I don't think so. No,
he was a big guy.
He was a professional strongman.
I know, but he was also really big at one point, and now he's ripped like a.
Of course, he was competing in the world's strongest man. He's going to be huge. Look, this is the dude. I don't care. Yeah, I guess he did.
Okay, the second post is a rugby post.
Look at the dude.
I know.
That's what he looks like. Look at his body transformation.
I know. It's crazy. He's a brick shithouse.
I know, but he he wants to know what you. There's your answer, I guess.
Is definitely going in there saying he played rugby.
He did play rugby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Chad.
He's an animal.
Sorry,
100%.
no offense to rugby players, but I'm more impressed with his recent body transformation and his 2 times world's strongest man medaling.
I know. I'm just saying. He is overall a freak. Like in rugby, he would demolish people. They're highlight reels. And then in strongman, he is an absolute beast.
How do I get in touch with this guy?
You got to just message him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He seems super cool. I've seen him on Big
he
Laz's.
follows me. That's cool.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
But he's been on
back.
Big Laz's channel a bunch of times for strongman stuff, and he just seems like a.
Have you met him?
I haven't met him, but he seems cool. Yeah.
We need to get in touch with this guy because
He would be interesting to talk about training. I would love to pick his brain.
He was covering a lot of the world's strongest man. He was the guy covering it. Yeah, he was good at that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to say the same thing for some of the other world's strongest man commentators, but Terry's a badass.
No, I know. Listen, everything I've seen from him, I mean, I give him huge props for the body transformation, which also shows you, like, when you're a big guy and an athlete, there's a ton of muscle mass under there. Like, when he shredded down, you're like, holy crap.
It's crazy, isn't it? I always wonder, like, what would Martins look like if you got
well, look at the strongmen that have done it, right? When they lose, like, some size, you know, which we probably think, like, why would they want to lose that size? They look incredible. Like, they basically have, like, visible 6 or 8 packs, and their mobility and everything else and athleticism just skyrocket because now they don't have all that mass.
Yeah.
So you're dealing with, like, an athletic, strong weapon.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
As an athletic, strong
Well,
weapon.
and
I like
Sam
that.
Brown chimed in. He said Terry Holland's real smart with his training, and you guys need to make it happen. And several other people that are pretty excited about a potential.
You know where he is? Where's he based out of?
He's in England.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck. Across the pond, bro.
We do have a super chat from the Luxury Bastard. Not sure if you remember me. I sent you a custom beard oil back in the day.
Thank you. Yes, no, I remember you. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. How's Huntsville going? Probably pretty freaking hot. Yeah, he's from my hometown.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it gets hot in the southeast during the summertime, guys. Hot, but yeah, thank you for that. I really appreciate you coming in, man.
Can we tell them about the lift we did today?
What about your beard, Joey?
Oh, my beard.
Yours is nice and groomed, and I'm sponsored by a beard company right now. So what's my deal?
Yours fits.
You know, it's actually in the contract that I can't cut my beard.
Really?
Yes.
I thought my beard.
Like I can't shave it off.
I just groomed it, but I was doing this thing before where I was having it longer right here, and I thought that was a better look. So now I'm going back to that. It's almost like I always cut my beard accidentally by using the wrong trimmer size. I don't know if you've ever done that before.
No, I've watched you in your stories cut off half your frickin' face, and you're like, and then you have to go completely like.
I just end up having a baby face.
It, yeah.
Because I think I know the size that I need to use, and then I go, and it's just like we've gone too far. We might as well just shave it all off. But I'm a big fan of the beard. I trimmed it too short because it was just actually like. Do you get hot with your beard ever?
No.
Okay. Well,
Never. Of course, I haven't shaved my beard since 2016.
for me, like,
well, I have to be, yeah.
Not being used to it and then getting a full beard, I was kind of like, wow, like, this is like my face just feels warmer all the time.
Why don't you grow your hair out?
I thought about that too.
Yeah.
I thought about that. Yeah. There's a lot of phases that we haven't reached in our lives yet, and one of them is going to be the long-haired, big-bearded Joey.
Well, the luxurious bastard said, "Let me know, man, and I'll hook you up with some badass gear."
Let's go.
Yeah.
I need some oil. I don't use any oil. Like, so I'm down to try
yeah, I was
whatever.
about to say, luxurious bastard, if you have any tips, share them in chat.
Yeah, I love beard tips. Like, is that?
I love beard
There's
tips.
a huge market though. Like, you're sponsored by a beard oil company. Like, there's a huge following behind beards. Beards are a thing.
Well, beards have always been a thing. That's the thing. Well, beards have always been a thing. That's the thing. Well, look, go back 3,000 years in history, and you're gonna find sculptures of like ancient dudes carved out of stone, and they were carved wearing beards.
Imagine if they had beard oil then.
Welcome to the Flock Fighter, Frank.
No, it's a good question. What
Just the key pillar in everything back in the day.
Welcome to the Flock Fighter, Frank. Hope you like that white flamingo badge you got going on next to your name right now. We are going to be doing more with the members stuff here, guys. We're going to have members-only live streams once a week. We're going to have members-only discount codes. You guys get emojis. You get cool badges. And we're going to be working on that. So we do appreciate you guys who join. We do appreciate your super chats. And, I mean, with the members-only live streams, that means there's going to be less people in there. and so it's going to be easier to like have some one-on-one time. I think that'd be fun, man. That's why I want to do it.
Yeah, I think we're both kind of just diving deep with the community in which we create content for, and I think that's what makes it really cool is being able to develop relationships with you guys. So what he's doing, I mean, yeah, hop on board with that. That's super sick.
Basement Brandon was wondering, members only Jack.
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
It's like Happy Gilmore.
Gold jacket, green jacket. Who gives a shit? That's a good. My dad loves that line from that movie.
That's awesome.
I also like the line from Happy Gilmore when he's sponsored by Subway sandwiches.
Yeah.
And he's like in his commercial, he's like, "I eat 3 every day to help keep me strong." No, actually, speaking of arm wrestlers and Devin Larratt, in the Arnold in 2020 that was canceled. We still went to Ohio and did some filming. I kid you not, I watched Devin Larratt eat Subway, 12-foot-long, a foot-long sandwich 3 times a day. He literally was on the Happy Gilmore Subway sponsored diet for 3 days straight. He'd eat a full sub in the morning because there's a Subway sandwich shop within like 50 feet of where we were staying.
Well, to piggyback off of you, I don't know how I know these things about Subway, but there's a Subway within 50 feet of anywhere you're always at.
That's impossible. There's no Subway here.
Okay. 5 miles. You can always find a Subway wherever you're at within 5 miles. I'm pretty sure. Everywhere I've traveled, for some reason, there are always Subways.
I don't know if I like that.
I don't know if I like it either, but it's just a fact.
Cold cut combos, person.
Cold cut combos.
I always love that chicken teriyaki Subway sandwich.
Fighter Frank, are you big in the arm wrestling community? I'm just not.
Who is asking me this question? Fighter Frank?
No. Caroline said Fighter Frank. Big in the arm wrestling community. Good to have you here.
Yes, thank you. Glad the arm wrestlers are here. It makes me want to arm wrestle you right now.
Wait, would you guys like to see that?
I mean, yeah, of course.
Okay. How are we going to do this?
Oh, the lava lamp's going to be askew. Joey, have you ever arm wrestled?
Yes, he's arm wrestled before.
Of course, in the cafeteria lunch tables.
Okay, I got a story about Joey and arm wrestling before we lock up. So, yes, I'm going to tell the story. Listen, just shut up for a second. I was working in the arm wrestling and doing videos and practicing, and I've worked with pros for like 1.5 years, 2 years. So Joey comes in. He's never sat on a table before. He's never locked up with anyone. And I'm like trying to preface like I think I'm like going to have to like be easy on him because I don't want to hurt himself. And so we lock up, and he's just kind of like waiting. He's like, "Do we go?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, and he's like, "Are you going?" And I'm like, "I'm actually pulling as hard as I can." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going." And he's like, "What do I do?" I'm like, "God, this guy's strong." Uh-oh. I was like, I felt like shit because I'd been training arm wrestling for a while, and then I locked up with Joey, and I was trying to get out of it, dude. I was trying to play it off like, maybe my arm hurts from this, or I was trying to find an excuse, but I couldn't think of it. It's like, this guy's just, I think he's a natural arm wrestler. You're naturally good at it, I think, because you're kind of like a wall, dude. I was like, this kind of sucks because I feel really bad that I've been working on this, and I've even.
I'll let Joey know about the Subways later.
I don't even know how you do this side by side, man. It doesn't work. Is that the arm you hurt yourself on?
I think I'll be okay. If anything,
yeah,
I'll
multiple people have said don't tear biceps.
Switch sides.
Okay, you want to go lefty?
Okay, they're doing left hand.
My left arm's actually stronger. Jesus Christ, I can't believe I'm doing this. Is this even real?
Hey, James.
I mean, do you even arm wrestle side by side? Like, this is ridiculous.
Is this a thing, guys? Our arm wrestling friends here, is this a thing? You don't have a table at hand.
I don't know, Joey. Just go.
They're saying warm up.
No, stop, Devin.
No, I'm playing the Dennis Simplikoff thing where he's just like studying the hand.
No.
You have to stare lovingly into each other's eyes.
I don't want to look at him. He's feeling me out. All right, he wins. I'll give it to you.
Nobody, and Sam Brown interjected, nobody ever tears their opposite biceps.
Jesus Christ! Sam! Don't jinx it!
Listen.
Aussie Dave
I've learned my
arm
lesson.
wrestling said, look at your hand, Joey.
I don't even know what to look for. I just didn't want to look at him because he's playing with my mind, and I didn't like the vibes I was getting.
Dude, I tried to get a half table from, what's that company that sells tables? I forgot. Someone in chat will just scream it out.
Well,
Combat Sports. Dude, I contacted them like 1,000,000 times, like as a normal customer, not as Juji Mufu trying to get free shit. I was like trying to pay for a half table through their frickin' contact form, and they never got back with me 3 times over the course of several months. I was like, come on, guys, I'm trying to give you money. I wanted a half table so I could train arm wrestling over there in my gym. Sorry, I'm getting a little worked up over companies that just don't want money. Anyway.
Go back and tell them you want free stuff.
Okay, I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly, but I'm going to take a shot. Okay, is it Viddy Cake? Super chat.
Viddy Cake's done this
Love
before.
that you guys are having fun with this. Been lurking for a long time. Also, has Joey seen Hook Training 2?
Hook Training 2. You know what that is?
No.
That's where you take a dumbbell and it's not heavy enough, so you duct tape a bunch of freaking weights on the side of it so it looks like this duct tape monstrosity, and then you're on a preacher curl bench and you just let it hang there for as long as you can.
Sounds awful.
Well, for you it is.
Yeah, for me, I don't.
But for the internet it's not.
It's really cool.
It is
Well, if you
very
want,
amazing.
You can go to Ozzy Dave's channel and watch his arm break video is on there. You wanna?
Broke his arm?
I guess so. Dave, did you break your arm?
Ozzy, I'd love to go like check out this arm break playlist you have on your YouTube channel. It's like, yeah, we got my playlist here. We got like top roll technique. We got like hook training. We got like King's move training technique. And we got like spiral fractures section for the playlist. Dude, you're a freak.
I want nothing to do with this.
We're not talking about arm breaks or bicep tears for the rest of the stream. We're done.
So Adam Conrad's asked, where can I learn a crash course to not suck at arm wrestling? You just jump into it and get with some folks and just learn on the fly.
I think that's what you're going to have to do. Yeah, because that's what I did.
It's interesting because I remember when we're working with Devin and Michael Todd, like always make sure you pull and engage your lats.
How technical is it?
Amazingly technical.
Okay.
Incredibly technical. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, strength is king.
Okay.
In that sport. Here's why I'm going to say that. So people always think you can out-technique anything. That's not true. You got like a 12-year-old kid who knows all the freaking moves in the world. And I've been against these younger kids at arm wrestling events, and they've been taught since a young age to be amazing arm wrestlers, but they just don't have the mass and the size. Yeah. So they lock up with me thinking they're going to be like this. They're going to beat the crap out of me because they know all the tricks. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, but it's like, if you're 4 times bigger, it's like, I don't care what you do, it's just going to do this.
It's kind of the same with jiu-jitsu. Like, everybody thinks they can out-technique you in jiu-jitsu, which, listen, if they know what they're doing, they've been doing it for a while, you can definitely have a technical advantage.
Yeah.
But me going in as a 260 to 270 pound athlete and strength sport guy, like I came in with an advantage.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it's it's very similar. I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Well, Carolyn, she had a little tip for you. She said, always keep your arm within your frame, never out to the side like you did, arm break position.
I appreciate that. Thank
And
you.
by the way, Fighter Frankie said, to be honest, everything I say and do will be geared around bringing you back to arm. Smiley face.
There's like this magnet like pulling you, dude. It's like, Juji, come back.
I know.
And we got Eric Parker again.
Eric, dude, what
Eric,
the
you're
hell?
going to shake it up. He is totally changing the game. He asked, I think Jay Cutler is the most aesthetic open bodybuilder of all time. Who do you guys think is the most aesthetic of all time?
That's an interesting choice there. Jay Cutler being the most aesthetic bodybuilder of all time. I mean, aesthetics is in the eye of the beholder, right?
For sure.
Kind of. I mean, some dudes are just going to like the way Arnold looked with his vague tapered waist. That includes Chris Bumstead as well in that category. That's why a lot of people like classic. They just like the way everything flows. Other dudes like the way mass monsters look, like Marcus Rule in the Night of Champions 2002. Like, I'm sorry, but that's like, what the hell was that? Like the most shredded blimp floated on stage ever.
Yeah.
But of course, it could have been fighting and stuff. I think a lot of the '90s bodybuilders, just the way things were filmed, that kind of grainy like film quality, like distorts how shredded they actually were. So, But who is the most shredded? Who is the most aesthetic bodybuilder of all time? I think it's just like everybody has their strengths. It's kind of hard to pick one guy. I'm glad that he was able to pick one dude though. He's like Jay Cutler.
I mean,
I like that
that's
he was
a good trait. We
No.
do have. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, we got a big super chat from Big Head Nasty.
Thanks, Big Head.
You recognize him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Head. Thanks
He
for
said,
coming in.
Juji is one of my favorite people in this world, and Joey is a close second. How you treat people is the way the world should.
Oh, thank you very much. We do
Means a
appreciate
lot.
that. Yeah.
Hope you and your family are doing well.
Thanks for coming in. That is very nice of him.
Yeah.
So.
And Joseph Jones is dying to let you know that, Joey, the subways in Central PA have been closing down.
But there were a lot of them.
Subway can't be doing well franchise.
It definitely isn't. It's had some issues, but what I'm saying is there were a lot of them everywhere. And it's not. It's like don't pay attention to the red car, and then all of a sudden you're gonna see the red car everywhere.
Yeah.
Don't pay attention to the amount of subways that are around, and you're gonna see them.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. What company has those color logos though? Like white, lime green, and like bright yellow.
Sprite.
What a strange color combo.
Well, Big Head Nasty, if you have any questions, just put them in chat. I'll keep an eye out.
I'm trying to. I'm still bothered, but I can't single out one bodybuilder to pick.
Well,
as the
Darren-
most aesthetic.
Like the early age bodybuilders before the mass monsters, and I really like classic physique. Like if I were to compete, I would want to go for a more classic physique.
Okay, I'm gonna just ignore what you just said and just say Ronnie Coleman. I just like the way he looked in 2003.
Ronnie Coleman is
We got some Steve Reeves
Wow.
in the chat as far as most aesthetic as well.
I disagree with that, but I'm glad Chad has its opinions. I'm sorry, you heard me rant about that the other day.
he did. He
Like,
brought him up.
yeah, don't want to. Yeah.
Don't get him started.
Don't get me
Hey, we
started
got
on that.
Cody. Hey, Cody. This
What's
is
up?
Cody. We met you at the Arnold.
Yeah, Cody, what's up? Hope your family's good, man.
He asked, Joey and Juji, any possibility after Juji's contest of doing a couple jiu-jitsu videos? I know Juji used to do taekwondo or some other related martial arts videos. So he thought that those would be cool.
I did a jiu-jitsu video on your channel
Yeah,
already.
yeah, he's done jiu-jitsu with me.
But
I
he
think
wants
he's down with some other
more.
people, right?
I don't know if you saw that one though.
That was a fun one. We had a good
Well,
time.
would you be willing to do more martial arts based content? Because we had John a little bit earlier asked about that as well.
See, here's the thing. What I like about martial arts is not what's popular because I like katas, forms, and flow. So I would love to get back into like taekwondo for learning
Well, it's like the
movements,
artistic part.
kung fu, like learning any of those moves.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. I would love just to start training that sometime in the near future again and just do it until I die. But most people are into combat martial arts. I was
Yeah.
never really into the combat side of things.
I remember when I had to get my black belt in Kempo, we had to do a kata, and it stuck in my brain. It was 150 moves. And like just to
See, I'd love that.
I know that's
want-
just, I
want
thought it was
that.
so cool because it was like everyone had to be like, boop, like you had to
Yeah.
nail it, move to the next one, transition, and it was like this meditative flow process. But you know, I did that when I was 13, and I still remember having to memorize 150 moves and getting them down in my living room, just sitting there, and I was like,
Did you go and compete or
Yeah, kata.
trial for your next rank belt and have to do that kata in front of testing?
everybody, yeah.
You blank out sometimes when you're testing, like the kata. You're
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, I can remember having to do when I was testing for my second degree. I think I was just like blanking out hardcore. Like, never had to do a kata 3 times at a belt test. I'm just like sitting there, like, what am I forgetting?
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, I remember the cool thing was my parents would just drill me. Like every night I'd be in the living room working on this kata, and there was so much like preparation that went into it. And I don't think a lot of people understand. Like it is its own art and mastery in its own to be at that level. But I honestly talk to people like I was an athlete. I got into athletics like sports when I was in 7th grade. So I didn't play sports really before 7th grade. Maybe I played like intramural soccer.
I didn't either, though.
And I hated it.
didn't
But I
really
did
either.
martial arts.
Yeah,
And I give all my credit to that athletic foundation from martial arts.
yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Same
and I
here.
always think like if I have kids or whatever, like I want them obviously to try everything, But I think martial arts is such a cool thing to get a kid into.
It is.
For the well-rounded. It's almost like gymnastics in a sense with like how well-rounded it makes you.
Yeah.
But till this day, like when people are like, where's the foundation? I'm like, martial arts, 100%.
Katie also agrees. She said, I'd love videos for forms and movement. That's the stuff I love too. 3rd degree black belt.
Thank God.
Cody Robinson followed up with you guys doing some Tai Chi ASMR videos.
Love to do Tai Chi. ASMR videos?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You doing it?
This is the only one I know. I don't know any Tai Chi, but I know this. Okay. Forgive me, guys, if you've seen this. Here is the water. Slice the watermelon.
That just made me feel better.
Yeah, I don't have much room to do it, but I tried. What was I going to say? With martial arts as a background before I got into like fitness, strength, and like size and stuff, you look back on it, you're like, it was a completely different experience for training the body. You trained in a weird pajama outfit with no music, no sound, no nothing, no weights, no equipment, just like, and you're working your ass off, having a really hard workout, just moving your body. It's not like push-ups and sit-ups and reps. There's none of that. It's just straight up like move, punch, and you have your instructor sitting there like getting mad at you, like put your arm here, put like center line of your body, like snap. You know what I mean? It's just like, and you're just working your ass off, just like perfecting these simple movements like that. It's just such a cool experience to reflect on, you know?
Yeah, and the school that I was at, I remember it had all these like plaques above the mirrors, and it'd be like integrity, humility, like discipline. And these were like these things that I swear, like as a young kid, were totally ingrained in me. And having to be like now it's like everybody wants it so fast, but it's like, hey, it's gonna take you 5 years to get this black belt, and you're like, 5 years? Like nowadays, I feel like that's so tough for people to comprehend. Like, I'm going to train for 5 years to get this belt, but it's like about the journey. And when you get it, it's, man, like that just goes so far into your life with all the other things you're going to do. And I you know, it's cool that we brought it up because I really do give a lot of credit to martial arts for the foundation of like everything.
Yeah.
That's something that Cody brought up. It's sort of like posing in terms of stimulus. People, that you have to perform it perfectly for an hour.
That's interesting. Yeah, bodybuilding posing's very similar, but I could say that martial arts katas is a million times more enjoyable than doing bodybuilding posing. Honestly, I hate posing. It's like, it just kind of hurts. It just, it's just like my shoulders, my joints, everything hurts. It's like I would rather do bad exercises than pose sometimes. Yeah, it hurts my shoulders and shit. I don't know why.
We're pivoting a little. Carolyn is not on the arm.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, super chat.
Let's go back. Let's go back to arm wrestling. Then we'll come full circle.
Fuji, do you think you could beat Ryan Bowen?
No, absolutely not. Ryan Bowen is he lives and breathes arm wrestling. He's got his own very popular YouTube channel on arm wrestling. The guy is an amazing arm wrestler. So I don't care if people shit talk him because, you know, a few years ago I think he had a little trouble with an arm wrestling match and he hyped it up a lot, but the dude is legitimately an amazing arm wrestler.
Yes. But we are coming back to circling back to martial arts again. We have several people in chat who have been doing martial arts. We had Dean who said he's...
Sam, I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt for a second. Sam, just do the thing.
What about I do this?
Okay, just do the thing. I don't know. Okay. Sam's over here like reading chat and like rubbing her face like she has a beard with a giant green glove on her hand. Like, here, just grab that and move it in the frame.
No.
Oh, that's slippery. Don't do that.
Skull.
Skull. Oh, jeez. All right. I'm going to come back to those questions. I got to pee again. Joey, answer an arm wrestling question.
Okay, I know nothing about arm wrestling, but I will dive deep. I will dive deep into the sport of arm wrestling because I'll be honest. Like, when I first heard about arm wrestling, I kind of didn't really think it was that cool. But I started watching these trash talk videos, and now seeing that there's like this very WWE wrestling like environment to it. I got pretty hyped watching it. We watched all of Devin's, because I think he's just a cool guy. I really would love to meet Devin. But
Does anything about arm wrestling scare you with the bicep tear?
Injury for sure. I was actually going to ask him when we got on a tangent about arm wrestling, like what are the common injuries? Like has anyone's arm ever snapped? Like literally just from just freak incident or accident? I don't know if you guys know who are watching this. Like has there been something that I need to like look up and watch at some point?
I think there's a whole YouTube channel probably dedicated to arm snaps with arm wrestling.
So it's a thing.
It's definitely big.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to be wise. Like when we were just arm wrestling earlier, I bailed on that one, so nothing bad happened on live YouTube. But I could see some horrific things happening to people's arms.
Sam Brown did ask, hey Joey, what advice would you give to new coaches who want to get better at their craft?
Oh man, where do you start?
Well, I'm going to start the clock now. Yeah, we appreciate you guys coming in, but if you're wondering how long this is going to go, 12 more minutes is how much. 12 minutes is how we got. So
2 weeks.
Don't leave yet. We got 2 weeks. We got 12 minutes
Did
left.
You know that reference?
I think so.
2 weeks.
Well, Steven
movie.
stated that they used to arm wrestle at World's Strongest Man, but some people's arms got broken, and it was dangerous for those monsters.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to rapid answer some of these questions in the super chats. We're going to answer those. So let's have your questions, guys. We got 12 more minutes on the stream. So you guys.
We're waiting for the questions to come in.
Oh yeah. Well, I can.
But yes, Retro Cosmos notes that the compilation of broken arms and arm wrestling is very scary.
I know what I'm watching before bed now.
Yeah, bicep tear deadlift videos as well.
So Eric Parker, super chat here. Look up the
Crushing
video
it.
Nathan Jones getting his arm snapped in World's Strongest Man competition in the 90s by Magnus Sam.
Ooh, okay. Strongman and arm wrestling. I love it.
Okay, I got. We're gonna just start answering questions. John asks, "How do you train the strength and elasticity of your tendons?" Quick answers.
Elasticity of your tendons?
And
I'm not sure if you want them to be like super elastic.
I just like going full range of motion with all my exercises, if that counts as an answer. I try to always do just full ROM. Strengthening of it, I think ISOs are good, and some eccentric work as well. Like, don't neglect those two training variables in your programming.
I think tendons take time to strengthen. Like, you just have to give them time to get stronger.
And Adam asked, Judy, what's your favorite trick of yours you always like to perform?
Unfortunately, I can't do it anymore, but the hyper swipe was my favorite trick, and the aerial switch were my favorite tricks. I cannot do a hyper swipe anymore. If I trained again, I could probably do an aerial switch again, but I'm pretty heavy now. But I like doing right now, backflips and aerials just feel good. They're simple, basic, love them.
Okay, there's a couple questions about Knees Over Toes guys program. What do you think of him, and what about his programs for flexibility?
I don't know what he's got to offer for flexibility, but I do like the guy. I think he's giving a lot of information. I do think a lot of people are thinking that's going to fix all their knee problems. Don't think that's going to be.
The gentleman has been very patient. He wants to know the favorite biceps finisher.
Favorite bicep finisher is going to have to be reverse grip, easy curl bar curls on a cable stack with high reps, like 20 or 30 reps. Let David talk for a second. David is over there managing the stream. You did that exercise the other day with me, remember? The reverse grip, easy curl bar curl on the cable stack. What do you think of that?
Very difficult, but at the same time, very rewarding feeling.
Yeah.
Like it was very nice, especially like the couple of hours after. It just felt like I did something good. You know? Felt really good.
It hits the brachialis muscle really well, and it hits your forearms, and your biceps already toast. There's not much left, and it gives the forearm a kind of like a 3D development, and there's David's testimonial there.
This is from Dean. Hey Joey, if you had to pick a tattoo for Juji, what would it be?
Oh God, don't pick a tattoo for me. How about this? I'll pick one. I want my cat tattooed.
Sputnik or a flamingo?
Steven has also been very patient. When are the Juji shorts coming out?
Good question. Unfortunately, they're not going to come out this summer. All the new products that are apparel, like functional apparel, take about 8 to 12 months from the time I order them. We're doing short shorts. They're short shorts.
All right,
I'm doing Jujimufu short shorts. They're short, man. They're pretty freaking short.
Hey, we got Eric Parker in the chat again with another super chat. Last one for me, LOL. What do you guys think of those slapping competitions?
They're fun to
They've
watch.
definitely seen them.
No. Me and Sam were front stage at the one at the Arnold.
Yep.
It was so funny to watch Arnold
Just the
Schwarzenegger.
sound.
Yeah, Arnold's.
Yes.
Yes, it sounds like a clap, or like a really loud thunderclap. It's crazy, dude. Dude, I gotta say this real quick. Arnold Schwarzenegger was at the Arnold Expo, and the slap contest was there. You could tell he was there sitting there, and he was just like physically kind of like disgusted, and then he just leaves before it's over. It was really like. I was kind of like, Arnold, come on, man. You got to fake it a little bit better than that. Like, you got to fake that you like this better. Or just, like, don't just, he's leaving. He just left. He didn't even stay for the main. I'm tired of this. It was kind of sad because it was fun for me to watch.
It's almost like a car crash. Like, you want to look away, but you're, like, just captivated by what's happening.
Yeah. I would never do it myself, though, honestly.
No.
I don't want to.
That's not
slap
for me.
fight.
All right, we got a question from James for Joey. Do you find competing or coaching more fulfilling?
Good question.
Coaching, 100%. I love coaching people. It's cool to watch people grow and mold and change and get results. I find that a lot more fulfilling than competing.
Interesting.
And then we have a question from Mike. Thoughts on sissy squats with weights?
I think it's a good finisher.
Yeah?
I think it's a good finisher. Like, throw that after a bunch of leg extensions to failure. Like, after your last set of leg extensions, like superset that with some sissy squats, you probably won't even need much weight. Just hold a medicine ball or something. I think it'd be great as a finisher there, man. Dave Tate had us do that a few times. Yeah, I got that from him.
The 21s, yeah.
The 21s. So, yeah, good as a finisher. I wouldn't say it as a main movement, though.
All right. Sean Robert, yes, Juju does have a flexibility program, Legendary Flexibility. I will answer that one.
Dude, thank you guys.
And Estefania, I don't know if I said your name correctly, but I'm sorry if I didn't. Tips to continuing training while frequent traveling.
Dude, that is a great question. Can you ask it again?
What are
It's like I already forgot the question.
What are your tips to continuing training while frequent traveling?
I actually like okay, I think training on the road, well, if you're doing like a power sport, like, okay, this is kind of a difficult question to answer. Training on the road when you're a frequent traveler, I think it's easier when you're bodybuilding. Bodybuilding on the road is freaking easy. It's like you just have to find a gym. You just have to kind of like check off the boxes. If you're like doing like powerlifting, especially if you're like doing some heavy lifting, you're on a program to increase your lifts or like peaking for competition, good luck. I don't really think I would do that. But, you know, I would just say don't be lazy in finding a good gym, and hotel workouts are not a waste of time, honestly.
Agree completely. He said, and then also just less is sometimes more. So figure out how to combine some of the movements together. If you can only get it, or normally if you're training like 5 days a week or 4 or 5 days a week, and maybe you only have 2 or 3, what are the main priorities and focuses that you have, and put those in and prioritize them in your training when you can, and that's going to be your best bang for your buck.
Yeah.
And yep, Fighter Frank did also join in saying, Joey, always keep your eyes on your hand when. Okay, tip.
Don't train the lift if it hurts. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of barbell bench pressing. I could say from my experience though that when I didn't barbell bench press but like 3 times last year, and it was just to test my max, and then I hit 440 at Elite FTS. Like in December, it was a PR, and it was all from bodybuilding.
Just higher volume.
Well, I was like, the lift itself is irritating on my shoulders. Like, I just don't think it's a healthy lift. So I was able to build up all the muscles around it that don't get worked on the bench press because my shoulders take over. Yeah. Correct. So I found building up the bench press without bench pressing was the best thing for me, and increasing my bench without me even wanting to increase my bench. So it's going to be different for everyone, though. So,
okay, let's go to Fran's question. Best core exercises, one for each of you. How about that?
Backflip.
Hanging leg raises.
Backflip is going to wreck your abs, bro. Like, you won't be able to shit for 10 days.
I feel like I would get rhabdo if I tried that.
You would get rhabdo. The backflip will wreck your abs.
Yeah, that's explosive, man.
It is an explosive fully stretched ab movement with extension. There's nothing like it almost.
It's like almost like a GHD sit-up though, like that motion of whipping back and coming back up.
Yeah, but a backflip is way harder.
No, way harder.
Yeah.
I'm saying like if somebody can mimic it, that's what I would think. Like a GHD sit-up, because that torque, that power, and that stretch of your But
and hanging ab raises are great.
Well, Estefania came back. She said she's training for powerlifting right now. So it's been difficult on the road while traveling.
It is hard. So don't think that you're like not doing something well. Just understand that the thing that you're trying to do is not easy.
Got it. Garrett asked, thoughts on alcohol with training? You guys cut it out completely, or is there a balance?
You drink a little bit.
I drink probably once a week. I have probably 2 old fashions. I think everything in moderation. So if you're going to overdo it on alcohol, that's going to affect, your inhibitions. If you're going to eat more food or junk food, it's going to affect your training. So I try to keep it minimal, but like at the end of the week, I do like having 2 drinks, and that's all I drink.
I mean, you're doing pretty well with it.
Yeah, I think
if you can moderate it, more power to you. If you can't, you're just going to have to not drink.
Yep.
And then let's see. Expect a Magnus collab.
It would have to be after my bodybuilding competition. But here's the thing. I'm going to be lighter after I diet back down. See, I'm like 255 right now, so I'm going to diet back down to probably around 241, 242. And then it's going to be a lot easier for me to move my fat ass around on a rock climbing wall. So,
yes.
Yeah, definitely not going to not happen if I don't know what else. Too many double negatives. Magnus collab is going to have to be after August.
Got it. Okay, I think this will be our last question here. About time, right?
We have 50 seconds left.
Okay, why is Kirikou Grizzly the most aesthetic body?
We're being trolled.
I didn't think of that. Why? Jay Cutler and like Ronnie Coleman. Why?